Welcome back to Not Theoretical. I'm Lena.
And I'm Dan. Here on Not Theoretical, we're all about taking those big, sometimes complex ideas and distilling them into practical, real-world steps. Our goal is to help you turn insight into lasting action.
And today, we're tackling a question that I think resonates with just about everyone. How do you truly master a skill and do it fast? We've been diving deep into some fascinating ideas around ultralearning, a method that really challenges the old learn harder mentality. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by a new skill, whether it's coding, a new language, or even mastering a complex recipe, this episode is for you. And if you know someone who's always trying to pick up new things, this is definitely one to share with them.
Absolutely, Lena. We've all been there, right? Staring at a mountain of information, wondering if we'll ever reach the summit. But what we've uncovered through this ultra-learning approach isn't just about putting in more hours. It's about being strategic.
Exactly. And the first big idea that really anchors this whole concept is something called metalearning.
Metalearning. It sounds a bit abstract, but it's actually incredibly practical. Think of it like this. Before you even start building a house, you need a blueprint, right? Metalearning is creating that blueprint for your learning journey. It's about understanding the structure of what you're trying to learn before you dive in.
It's so true. I remember when I was trying to get better at graphic design software. I just jumped in, clicked around, and felt completely lost. But if I had taken the time to understand the core concepts, the facts I needed to know, and the actual procedures for using the tools, it would have saved me so much frustration. It's like mapping out the skeleton of the skill.
Totally. We saw an example of a graphic designer, Lila, who was trying to learn Python. She was drowning in options until she decided to really break down the subject. Variables, loops, syntax rules, writing functions. She even looked at a university syllabus to see how the pros structure their learning.
That's such a smart move. It's like knowing what pieces of the puzzle you need before you start trying to force them together. It really streamlines the whole process, so you're not wasting time on things that aren't core to the skill.
And once you have that map, the next crucial piece is focus and distraction management. This one hits close to home for me.
Oh, tell me about it. My phone is constantly buzzing. It's so easy to get pulled away. We talk about focus being the heartbeat of ultralearning, and it really is. It's not just about brute forcing your way through distractions. It's about creating an environment that supports your attention.
That's where the analogy of a lighthouse beam really resonated with me. You're cutting through the fog of distractions. We saw how John, an accountant studying for a certification, was losing hours to emails. His coworker suggested simple things like setting a 20-minute timer and literally hiding his phone.
And it works. I've tried the timer trick myself. It's almost like a psychological hack. You tell yourself, okay, just 20 minutes, and then you get into a flow state. And finding a quiet space like a library corner or even just turning off notifications, these small acts of defiance against constant tugging on your attention make a huge difference.
They really do. Moving from focus, we get into directness and transfer. This is about making sure what you learn actually sticks and is usable in the real world.
This is huge. How many times have we studied something intensely, only to freeze up when it comes time to actually use it? Directness is about closing that gap. It's about practicing the skill in the context you'll actually apply it.
Like training for a marathon by running, not just reading about running. I'm reminded of the story of Sophia, an aspiring chef learning French. Instead of just vocabulary drills, she took virtual French cooking classes. She was practicing recipes while narrating her steps in French.
Talk about immersion. She was literally using the language in the environment she planned to work in. It's that real-world application that makes the learning so much more relevant and memorable. You're building muscle memory for the actual scenario.
Absolutely. And then, once you're practicing directly, you need to make sure that knowledge is truly yours. That brings us to retrieval and recall.
This is the one that really challenges the passive rereading habit. We all do it, right? Just reread notes, thinking we're learning. But retrieval is about actively pulling that information from your brain. Think flashcards, quizzes, or even just explaining concepts aloud.
It's like fishing in a pond. You cast your line, your memory, to pull up the knowledge you've stocked. Ethan, a history teacher preparing for a trivia competition, was just reading books and forgetting details. He switched to making flashcards with questions and free recall, where he'd just write down everything he knew about a topic without notes.
That struggle to remember actually strengthens those neural connections. It's not always comfortable, but that effort is exactly what makes the knowledge stick when you need it most.
And finally, to tie all of this together and really accelerate your learning, you need feedback.
Ah, the mirror that shows you where you stand. It's not just about getting a pat on the back. It's about getting specific, actionable advice. May, a marketing manager, shared her campaign draft with a colleague and asked him to be brutal. He pointed out the vague messaging and she revised it.
And then she tracked the click rates to see if the feedback actually worked. That's the critical part. Not just receiving feedback, but acting on it and then measuring the impact. It's how you course correct and avoid pouring effort into the wrong things.
Exactly. It can be humbling, but it's the fastest way to refine your work and see where you're truly going wrong.
So when you bring these 5 concepts together, meta-learning, focus, directness, retrieval, and feedback, you create this incredibly powerful cycle. Meta-learning gives you the plan, focus keeps you on track, directness makes it relevant, retrieval locks it in, and feedback refines it. It's a well-tuned engine for mastery. And if you want to dive deeper into any of these ultra-learning tactics, with even more examples and actionable steps, head over to our Substack. You can find our article titled 5 Ultra-Learning Tactics That'll Help You Learn Any Skill Fast.
In our next episode, we have something for everyone who feels like they're always working but never finishing. We've been experimenting with ideas from Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog, and the results surprised us.
Want to actually finish your top priorities? Make the most of your time? Feel in control of your day again? We're sharing 5 clear strategies that helped us ditch the overwhelm.
That's our discussion for today. Thanks for tuning in to Not Theoretical.
Until next time, remember, mastery comes from strategy, not just struggle.